Evening all. Hopefully you can hear me. You won't be able to see me because I do have my avatar on. I think that's just gone out. I am just going to get myself a drink. Bear with me a sec. Should have got one first because it is fucking roasting in this house. Hang on a sec. Let's get myself. Myself a little drink, please. Hey, Bodacious. Sorry, I was just getting a drink. I'm not on camera, and I'm sure you've already seen my video today. And if you haven't, my emotional and spiraling mental health, please go do watch it. I don't know if you'll learn anything from me. Probably not, because I'm not a life coach or a counselor or a therapist. But I have it on good authority that talking about writing, you can hear me. Obviously, you can't see me. Got my avatar on today. At least for a bit, until I feel a bit more with it. Good evening, Bodacious. Welcome to my avatar. Don't I look like a sexy bird? Can't tell me I'm a e-begging harlot now. Look, I don't have any part of my body on camera. Just saying. Evening, Gemma. It is baking in the UK. If you also haven't gone on my YouTube shorts, I showed the thunderstorm that we had earlier in 3 different parts. The thunderstorm itself was over an hour, but you literally got like 3 minutes. You're welcome. If you haven't checked out my mental health video that I did recently, I highly implore you to go check it out, especially if you are suffering with mental health yourself. It may give you an insight into the mind of Raven, which is a very dark and damp place, and you don't really want to go in there, but talking is healthier than what I used to do. Yes, I have been down a dark road before, and I do not wish to go down there. I just got back from my friend's work award ceremony. Ooh, was that fancy nibbles and some champagne or some wine? Is that fancy nibbles? Do you get fancy nibbles at award ceremonies? Never been to an award ceremony, but sounds cool. So if you want to share this out, I have put it in my Discord. I haven't put it on my community tab, but if you want to share this out, I don't know who's going to be around tonight. Honestly, it was the local football club Premier Suite. We got to meet the players. Ooh. I didn't eat very much, just don't like most of it. Well, you know, nothing like a nice buffet. I'm quite partial to a buffet. If you do have my Discord, if you go in my Discord, there are some cute pictures of flowers that I took. And there's a cute picture of, well, lots of stuff. Squirrels, flowers, you name it. Me, Anna, and a few other people have been trying to brighten up my Discord with some jolliness. So if you pop in there, you'll see some squirrels, some flowers. There's a waddling duck. I mean, my Discord's quite a happy place. I mean, yes, we do have a little bit of an Eli bash, you know. But what Discord doesn't? Pretty much every Discord has an Eli section, or at least every Discord I've ever been in has an Eli section. Yeah, if you want to go check out my Discord, if you are a member or whatever you call it, a part of my Discord, a member of my Discord, Lucky for others, they just give you plastic trophies. I ended up melting mine down. Oh, well, that's okay, I suppose. You'll also see that I got myself an early birthday cake in my Discord. I got myself a Viennetta birthday cake. So basically an ice cream birthday cake because it is so goddamn hot. It is my birthday on Monday, and I decided to get myself a ice cream birthday cake because it's going to be so fucking hot for my birthday that I don't know if the ice cream will melt, but it felt more fitting than trying to eat cake. And it might cool me down. Now, on my luck, with the storm we had today, it'll probably rain on my birthday. So, I mean, there's always that. We had a lovely thunderstorm earlier. The pictures of the thunderstorm are on my YouTube shorts. Also, if you haven't checked out the YouTube short of Eli during the YMCA wearing the dorky little police officer's kind of hat, go check that out as well. That's got a lot of love. I mean, who doesn't love the YMCA? So, how's everybody else? How's everybody else's mental health? Let's do a little bit of a mental health debriefing. How does everybody else feel about their mental health? There's also a poll on my community tab about mental health. You are anonymous, obviously, when you answered the poll. But the poll was whether you were currently suffering, whether you've had them and you've recovered, or whether you've never had mental health. And you can anonymously put on there, or if you want to share what your mental health was and everything, obviously you can share that too. My last birthday, a blizzard killed my car battery and ABS sensor. Oh, ABS sensor, sorry. I'm just exhausted. I'm worried. Sounds like me all the time. Does sound like me, just consistently all the time. I think parts of our lives. Let me just sit back a bit because I'm not on camera. I can be a bit more lazy and maybe over worrying for like unnecessary reasons. Although at the time you feel it's necessary, it's the looking back and realizing that things maybe just aren't as bad as they seem, or it does not help that I skipped meds for 3. I've skipped 3 meals in a day. I haven't really eaten the past 3 or 4 days. I've like had a bag of crisps. Does that count? And I did have a very small fry up the other day, but I've really not eaten. I've barely slept. I've got really bad insomnia right now. It doesn't help skipping your meds. I find that meds are important, and you're not given them just for the sake of being given meds. I think meds are more important than food, even more important than food. And this isn't trying to do a life coaching Eli bullshit on you guys. This is just a debriefing and to just share some experiences with each other, basically. Please make sure you get some protein. Yeah, I haven't really felt like eating. I've just got this swirly kind of sickness in my tummy. And I just feel a bit meh. Just constant meh. Good evening, Holly. How are you? Good evening, Bodacious. Good evening, Gemma. Good evening to anybody else that's lurking out there. We have 5 people watching me. I know Eli's probably lurking again. He's already took my monetization. I don't know what more that guy wants. Hey AMC. As you will see, I am rocking the avatar look this evening. Do I look fetching? Do you like my plumage? Are my sleek feathers doing it for you? I probably need a better avatar, but that'll do for now. It's just a raven. Hey buddy, what's up? We're talking about mental health. This isn't a coaching session. Who cares about relevant people? What do you mean? Irrelevant? Irrelevant. You mean irrelevant, not irrelevant. Irrelevant people. Talk about mental health. If you watched my video that I put out this morning, you will know that I am suffering from mental health issues, a blip, a block in the road, no light at the end of the tunnel, a stepping stone, a blockade, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. If you haven't seen that video, it would help. If you have seen it, it's about 10 minutes long. It delves into my very dark recesses of my mind right now. That's a very dark place to go. Have I taken care of my mental health early? I probably wouldn't need the meds at this point. It's what I get for pretending everything is fine for over a decade. Well, I mean, I have covered my mental health for a long time. I do come off like as my work colleagues would say, that I have my shit together and that I'm strong and confident and independent, and the world is my oyster and there's nothing stopping me, and then I feel like there's everything stopping me. It's hard. It's hard when a lot of people are bigging you up, and no matter how much praise you get, like whether it's from friends or family or work colleagues, you still just don't feel it, if you get what I mean. Like, over the last 2-3 months, I have successfully trained as a key holder. I now open and close the store. I've done it repeatedly now. I've been patted on the back by not only my boss, but my deputy, my work colleagues, and it still doesn't feel like enough, if you get my point. And then to feel like you're not good enough, or like you're, I don't know, you keep pushing yourself, but you still want to try harder. Mental health isn't always physically visible. No. The worst thing about mental health is it's not visible. A lot of people with mental health don't just sit in a corner rocking backwards and forwards, or, scrolling terrible things into a journal. It's not like blindly obvious. The Midnight Raven, based on the newly released voice notes, I present new life coaching on alcoholism. Is that J-Rom's? Is that J-Rom's voice note? Let me just have a look. At least you're honest with yourself about it. That's healthier. I mean, it is healthier. It doesn't make it any easier. Sorry, my phone went into incognito for some reason. I don't know. Hang on, let me just get to it. How do you cope with your mental health? Yes, based on those J-Rom voice notes. Okay. Oh, hang on. Is alcohol a problem? Just put a mint in your mouth and you'll be fine. Oh, okay. I'll have to go on camera for a sec just to show you this. And a camera today because I don't look good, but this is it. If alcohol's a problem, put a mint in your mouth and you'll be fine. If you don't know what that is in reference to, Lady Baby met Eli's mum, and she stank of alcohol. And when she went to Eli to complain that Lady Baby went to complain to Eli about Eli's mum making a complaint about her smelling of alcohol, Eli said, every time you go upstairs, you need to put a mint in your mouth. Like, that takes away the smell of alcohol. Green Hazard's special 21st surprise birthday. Yeah, there's a GoFundMe for my son. My son turns 21 on Saturday, and if anyone would like to throw him a bone or $1 or an English pound, the GoFundMe link is in the chat. Katie and family are sharing it. My son's going to be 21. He's been really supportive to Katie and the baby and everything. So if you can throw a bone his way and consider donating, that would be great. I know a few of you donate to me quite a lot, and it would be nice if you could also donate to my son. So the GoFundMe is in there. Katie's going to be sharing it every 15 minutes or something. Volunteer work has helped my siblings and I cope a bit. Holly, do you remember Aristotle? Or Aristotle? Wasn't that someone that Eli didn't get on with? I'm sure I remember Aristotle from your live streams with Jamie and the bearded Phenophilis, or how you pronounce his bloody name, and when Charles F. Gray was around and everything, Midtown kind of days. Was that Aristotle? Aristotle, I can't remember how you pronounce his fucking name. Asistoli A10, yeah. He would call Eli a wonderful man. So did Marcel A. Harding. What happened to Marcel? Marcel used to say that Eli was a wonderful man as well. I miss Marcel. Come back, Marcel. No, that doesn't take away the smell of alcohol. A mint does not. That is the only thing that takes away the smell of your mouth is mouthwash or toothpaste. Yeah. Do you remember he called you a backstabbing bitch? He pretty much did. Sicily A10 was a bit of a dude. Yeah, I have no idea where Marcel is. Yeah, Marcel A. Harding. A mint today will keep Eli's mum at bay. The comments section pirates. Hey, Hahar Maharides. All right, pirate. How many times has Raven said donation to? I haven't said donation. I haven't said it once. GLM. I've been a good girl. We're talking about mental health. We're not talking about donations. Although if you'd like to donate to my son's birthday fund, KE is linked a GoFundMe for my son's birthday. He is turning 21. If you'd like to throw him a bone or $1 or an English pound, his GoFundMe is in the chat. Katie and family are sharing it. This isn't for me. This is for him. I hope his mum kicks them both out. Well, if he doesn't come up with £2,000 each month, they may have to. Because it does sound like Eli's got to fund the £200 to keep Lady Baby there. I'm kidding, Raven. I know you are, GLM. It's just that I've got really bad insomnia. I'm tired. I'm depressed. I'm having a bit of a mental blip. And we're discussing the coping mechanisms for mental health. And how to see the signs in people, how to help them, and how to stop a spiral once it's started. I know it's not a very interesting topic, but I did a video earlier discussing mental health. And basically I am trying to follow up on that video so that people know I'm all right, I'm okay. that kind of thing. Hey, Red Door Woman. I support Marcel. I suppose Marcel could be dead. He just got up and vanished. He did. He used to be around quite a lot. Then he disappeared. Then Marcel came back, and then he's disappeared entirely. But Marcel was from... Is he from New Zealand or Australia? He wasn't from around here, sort of thing. But he used to come in and say Eli was a wonderful man and Lycan was a wonderful man. And it was quite funny. Because that was literally the only thing he ever said. Howdy gang, new sub made today on Shaz's channel. Hey Leno, I'm going to call you Leno for short, or I could just call you Lay. I'm going to call you Geno. Sorry, I thought it said Leno. We're calling you Geno. Raven, hope you'll be okay. I tagged you in a video so you can see it. Oh, thank you. Sorry, not Shaz. Yeah, Tammy. I met you in Tammy's chat, didn't I? Tammy's chat? At least one of us has got our brain screwed on today, and I've got a mental health blip. You meant Tammy. But yeah, how does everybody else cope with their mental health? What's your coping mechanisms? Yeah, Tammy. Not Jay Leno. Good to see you. Hey, Leno. Or Geno. Not Lay Geno. So I said Leno. I meant Tammy type Shaz. It's been a long day. I know who you meant. One of us has got our shit together. Hey, Geno. Good evening and welcome to the channel. We're talking about mental health, and if you'd like to raise funds for my son's 21st, there is a GoFundMe that his girlfriend is sharing in the chat. And if you would consider throwing a bone or $1 to the 21 birthday fund, because my son turns 21 on Saturday, the link is in the chat to the GoFundMe if you'd like to donate. Anything or as much as you can afford would be amazing. He's been really good with helping Katie and the baby and everything, and he deserves a good 21st. He's also working his own birthday, which isn't great. I do videos about my mental health as a form of therapy. Yeah, sometimes exercise sometimes help. Well, I did go for a walk about 9 o'clock last night when it was nice and cool. I did go for about an hour and a half's walk, got out there and everything. I try to laugh at my problems as much as I can. That helps me. Not sure if it's for everyone, though. They do say laughter is the best medicine. When your mental health dips come around, you are told to try and see the funny side and try and laugh more and try and take pleasure in the little things. And some of that is too affirmation-y for me, like, try and see a negative into a positive, and enjoy the little things, and don't let life grind you down. Stuff like that gets a little bit too cliche, a little bit too on the nose of like cringe worthy. Creative writing is helpful. I could do some more research on some of my cases. I'm actually doing some diamond art. I'm doing two of the weirdest people in diamond art. I'm actually doing the Mad Hatter from Alice in Wonderland, and I'm doing Jack Skellington from The Nightmare Before Christmas. And I'm doing it in diamond art. So you'll see them when they're completed, and I haven't started them yet. I've literally just bought them, and they have arrived today. But they're going to look really good when I'm done, and then I'm going to frame them and put them on my wall. So the Mad Hatter kind of resonates for me. If you haven't seen Alice in Wonderland, the Mad Hatter, the Johnny Depp version, really does resonate with me. How he's so misunderstood and kooky, but still down to earth and totally relatable. And then you've obviously got Jack Skellington, who, although loves the dark and the dingy, can also see the light, which is Christmas. So there are two people that kind of resonate with me, not mentally, but I do have a like for the darker characters, the more unsavory characters, the ones that have got a bit more, mentally unstable, shall we say? Well, if I feel down or frustrated, I would watch steam trains. I do find that walking and listening to music helps. Good evening, Wisdom. Absurd humor works too. Yes. J-Ron would probably come in here with a nice joke, or even Gordo would help with that. Also can hear you have a great voice for narration. I'm from England, so it's not your accent, but something about the clarity of how you pronounce words. You should do some voice-based stuff. Well, I'm actually from the UK as well, Leno. Oh, I keep calling you Leno. Jeno. I'm actually from the UK. I was born and bred in Norfolk. I think you said you were from London. I'm a Norfolk girl, born and bred. Me and my combine harvester, a bit down under. Hey, Weird World, welcome to the channel. I may be in and out working at the moment, but much love, everyone. Holly, you're always working. You're like a workhorse, Holly. For anyone that's just coming in, there is a GoFundMe link in the chat for my son's 21st. He is 21 on Sunday. If you'd like to consider donating, any donations would be appreciated. His girlfriend is linking it in the chat every 15 minutes, I think. So if you can consider donating, that would be amazing. His birthday is on Sunday, and I will have a 21-year-old. He will be my eldest child, will be 21. Oh, I know I don't look a day over 12, but I am. Yeah, I can tell you're from the UK. I just like how you speak. Oh, I'm weird like that. I work in audio for years, so I match speech patterns. You have a good reading voice. It's all I meant. Oh, well, that's nice of you, Jeno. Well, thank you. Yeah, I was born and bred in Norfolk. 39 years I've lived in Norfolk. So me and, I used to live next to a farm. So me and the boys from the farm would be like, oh, he's got a nice combine harvester. Have you seen his combine harvester? Oh, it make you eyes water. Proper Norfolk / proper farmer munching, carrot crunching people. Oh, I found out from WAW and Bellatrix TV, which is wrestling. They're based in Norwich, yeah. They can help with mental health. They say sky's the limit. Sky's the limit. Sky's the limit. Yeah, you be sky's the limit. I lose my Norfolk accent and sometimes. Cider for our American friends. Oh, you need some cider? I got some cider. Cider. We need Raven to read some of Eliza Doolittle's lines. What does she say? Eliza Doolittle. How does she talk? I don't know if I can do a proper Londoner. I'm not really from London. I might struggle. Joe, or sing the rain. The rain in Spain stays mainly on the plain. I'm a good girl. Hang on. Okay. I'm a good girl, I am. I'm a good girl. I don't know. I can't remember what Eliza Doolittle sounds like. She's like proper Cockney. So I'm a good girl, I am. I'm a good girl. The rain in Spain falls mainly on the plain. Are we taking the piss out of my accent? Oh, I would love tea on the lawn. Yes, and darling, would you move those peacocks? They're so in the way of the croquet. It's not Leviosa, it's Leviosa. And it's not Mrs. Bouquet, it's Mrs. Bucket. I don't know. Listening to Black Star by David Bowie helps me. Oh, I love Black Star. Ooh, that's a good song. Bodacious, you know me well. I'm a good girl, I am. I'm a good girl. You're probably pissing yourselves with laughter, right? Everyone's mocking me. Yes, music is a good answer. Everyone's mocking me. Keeping Up Appearances is a terrific show. It's not Mrs. Bucket. It's Mrs. Bouquet. can be. I don't know about, does anybody else do it? When you pick up a phone at work, you suddenly turn posh. Anybody else do it? I can answer the phone and I'm going to be, yeah, what do you want? And then when I go to work and I'm like, good morning, how can I help you? Like I actually give a shit. Raven, which character are you most similar to on Keeping Up Appearances? I would more say I'm a character on Waiting for God. Do you know what Waiting for God is in the UK? And she pronounced it bouquet. B-U-K. I'm laughing too, but the healing power of laughter helps. I more resonate with the woman out of Waiting for God. I can't remember her name. The woman out, I've not seen Waiting for God. Oh, it's about an old lady and an old man, and they live in this retirement home, and she is a dragon. She beats men with her cane. She's a right dragon. But I resonate with her a hell of a lot. Waiting for God is a really good program. If you haven't seen it, Tom and Diana. Diana is the woman, and she is a hoot. I've probably watched every other. Are You Being Served? I love Are You Being Served? You know. You want top floor for lingerie? Onslow. Onslow. From Mrs. Bouquet. Onslow. We're mocking me now, aren't we? Are we having fun? To be fair, I started it. I started mocking myself. Probably not the best idea I've ever had. People keep sending me shit. Stop it. I'm mocking. Oh, I love Only Fools and Horses. Me too. Let's take the suitcase from the van. Come on, baby. Do, 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 do. Hey, brother, I'm your man. Do, 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 do. It's like the changing of the season. Do, 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 do. But he's the one that's driving me berserk. Why do only fools and horses work? Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Yes and no. Apparently I'm too cold and down to business on the phone and email. I do not tend to be unwelcoming. Well, I do try. I'm like, what do you want? Porridge and open all hours. Yes. Yes, you've got to love porridge. I love any drama that's in a prison. That's probably sounding weird. And I do have a till at work that is literally like the one from Open All Hours that tries to eat my fingers. I never got the humour in Upstairs, Downstairs. Is that the Upstairs, Downstairs? Is that... you ever seen Rising Damp? That was also a good one. There isn't much in Upstairs, Downstairs. It's all stereotype about old-fashioned social conventions. What about Rising Damp with Reginald Perry? Is it Reginald Perry? I used to like Rising Damp. I have a neighbour that reminds me of Daisy. Oh, Daisy was a lovely character. Misunderstood, but good. Rising Damp was great, yeah. I used to watch quite a lot of old ones. I used to watch The Liver Birds. I used to watch Birds of a Feather. Some Mothers Do Have Them. Oh God, what else? Faulty Towers. Ooh, there's some good classics. Are You Being Served? Are You Being Served? I like Grandpa from Keeping Up Appearances. Yeah, Grandpa was a good character as well. I'm so glad you people. I can't believe you guys in America know so much about our British TV. Ronnie Barker Going Straight, that was also good. Yeah, when he got out of prison, I think it was filmed like 6 months after he got out of prison. Okay, here's an American show that not even the most American remember. but played a lot in the UK. Sergeant Bilko, the original TV series in black and white. Ooh. Can't say I've seen that. Mrs. Slocum and her pussies are a laugh riot. Spitting image. Stick a chicken in the ear, stick a dector up your nose, buy a jumbo jack, live in a Eskimo. Do 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 do. I remember that. Do 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 do. How about Star Trekking? Do you remember the song Star Trekking? Star Trekking across the universe. On the Starship Enterprise and the Captain Kirk. Do you remember that, Bodacious? Star trekking across the universe. Are we going forward because we can't find reverse? I don't have to worry about getting demonetized because I already am. That was a Dr. Demento song. They've done new spitting image, like I don't know, they've done a new revamped spitting image, but you can't beat the classic. It's set in an army base during peacetime. Isn't that like oh God, what's it called? The main character is a Del Boy type cat, but Americans always tried to con his platoon out of their wages, but every episode he felt. Oh, what about Dad's Army? Or It Ain't Half Hot Mum. Do you remember them? There's an army one for you. It Ain't Half Hot Mum and Dad's Army. Hey, old Puff. Haven't seen you for a while. Guess what? Yeah, I do. Guess what? What have I got to guess? We love games. I like how we got into TV shows. First we mocked my accent, then we got into TV shows that kind of mock my accent. Now we're just on random TV shows. You're like an American version of Dad's Army, but instead of trying to boss them around, he's trying to con them out of the money. Oh, okay. Don't think I've ever seen that. I mean, I used to watch Can you remember Steptoe and Son, Leno? I used to watch Steptoe and Son quite a lot, and I watched On the Buses. Oh, they had some good classics back in the day for entertainment. Sergeant Bilko was in charge of the motor pool for the US at Fort Barrett. He was a true scammer. Guess what happened? What? It's a bit of a long shot to guess that. Could you like narrow it down? Can we like narrow it down? No one is mocking your accent. I think everyone would agree you have a great voice. Oh, well, thank you, Leno. I'm going to keep calling you Leno. I don't know why. I want to call you Leno instead of Jenna. I don't know why. Good evening, boys and girls of the jury. Welcome to the Midnight Raven Show. And the crowd goes wild. Ah! Steptoe and Son was great. Remade in America under the name Sanford and Son. Yeah, and it sucked. Suck big balls. Suck it. See, this is great. You don't need to life coach people to have a good time. You could just have what I call a normal conversation, and this will improve your mental health like tenfold. Supposedly having a conversation with like-minded people is meant to improve your like mental health because you converse with people and you share stories and you share well in this case we share whether people like my accent or not. Oh, people have commented on my new picture. Thank you. What happened? Come on, you're gonna have to narrow it down, all Puff. I mean, it literally could be anything. I mean, I'm still demonetized, so unless you're like perking up my day with the fact that I'm remonetized, it's going to have to be good to impress me. Going to have to be massively impressive. We do have 8 in the box. You know, the excitement is brimming over. What's your news? What else did I like? Can anyone remember Alf Garnett? Anyone remember the character Alf Garnett and what show he was from? Because he was one of my favorite actors of the, if you want to call it, the retro years of TV. All about 1 foot in the grave. 1 foot in the grave. But I used to like 1 foot in the grave. I hit 500 subs today. Well, congratulations, Orb Puff. Round of applause in the chat for Orb. I'm just going to call you Orb for short because it's quicker. Give Orb some love in the chat. She hit 500 subs today. I'm 20 subs away from like 3K, I think, give or take. It does keep fluctuating because YouTube has a tendency to be like fluctuating constantly. Till death us do part. Ooh, yes, till death us do part. Yes, stupid old. I can't remember. He used to call a stupid old cow, didn't he? Congratulations, Orb. Yes, I used to love Till Death Us Do Part. Alf Garnett, brilliant actor. He nailed that entirely. Alf Garnett was from a show called Till Death Us Do Part. He was playing the role of an old-fashioned racist. People got a feeling, even though he always made his own ignorance the butt of the joke. Yeah. Back in the day, I'm going to sound old because I am 39 on Monday, mind you. I mean, although I don't look a day over 18. Back then, you could get away with certain things. Humor was actually humor back then. Yes, some were a bit more tongue-in-cheek and a bit more, on the nail kind of thing. But it was fun TV. Now it's just kind of boring. You cried for 2 hours about it. That's a bit excessive, but I can see you're happy. But the jokes are all about how stupid his bigoted views are. Yeah, he has such a warped, convoluted thoughts that he sounds stupid, and yeah, people still get offended. Can you remember the John Cleese one with Faulty Towers? You mustn't talk about the war. When they were doing the John Cleese war one, where he was talking about they had if you haven't seen Faulty Towers, they have a hotel. It's Basil and Sybil, and Basil had some Germans come into the hotel. And Sybil had told him not to mention the war. And when the guy said he'd like a walled-off salad, unfortunately, Basil started going, war, and talking about the war and mocking the Germans obviously losing the war. Now, back then, it was classed as funny. Nowadays, it's classed as being racist and bigoted, and, they want to take them all off the telly. The other TV program I used to watch was Bottom with Rick Mail and Abe Edmondson. Now, they did a skit in one of their TV shows where they had the Queen, and they were mocking the Queen, and he was doing a skit where he wanted to Roger the Queen and give her a bloody good seeing. But it's in poor taste now that the Queen is dead, obviously. So that you want to be offended by that now. The Queen is dead, so you can't have it on the telly. I spent 10 years in Europe, so I watched as much British TV as Three Stooges, and German was bizarre. The Three Stooges is a bit of a weird program. I never watched I Love Lucy. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia is good. Never seen that either. Speedy Gonzales is classed as racist now. They don't play it on any TV network stations anymore. See, people ruined TV. There is one show that always helped boost my mental health. Classic supersonic stealth helicopter Airwolf. Yes, what about Knight Rider? What about Knight Rider? Yes, Knight Rider was a good one with Kit the Car and David Hasselhoff. If you want to go a bit, sort of 80s, you go for like Knight Rider and stuff. Knight Rider was good. They actually did a remake of Knight Rider and it was horrendous. See, the thing is, when people start taking classic shows and then revamping them and rechanging them, they're just not the same because they don't have the humor of the person that was playing it. Like David Hasselhoff has a very tongue-in-cheek, a very egotistical kind of humor about him. I'm humming the Airwolf theme in my head. Hang on, Airwolf. Do 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 do. Is that Airwolf? Someone tell me. Is that right? Do 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 do. Is that Airwolf? I can't remember now. I might have to find it on my phone. Aquatine Hunger. What is that? Aquatine Hunger. I have no idea what that is. Was that Airwolf or was that? That might have been Knight Rider. Hidden in the side of a mountain in the Grand Canyon is just genius. What's Airwolf? I think that was Knight Rider, wasn't it? Can you please do the 18? Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. There you go, Eddie. You happy now? I can't remember Airwolf. I'm on the clock. Have to get back to work. Take care, everyone. Take care, sweetie. Let me just find the Airwolf tune. I can't remember it. Oh, Jesus. You boys do okay. You got the 18 right. Oh yes. Hang on. Let me find Airwolf. Airwolf theme. No, Airwolf theme. Hang on. I can't remember it. Oh, it's always an advert, isn't it? Also, The Great Escape. Hang on. Shut up. I fucking hate adverts. Come on. Great Escape. Oh dear. Great Escape. Hang on. Oof. You boys are testing me tonight. I think I did Knight Rider. I've never even seen Dallas. The Great Escape. Yeah. Good classic TV is good because they actually had like some good theme tunes back in the day. There used to be why is there a moth in my house? Not a moth in my house now. But that intro, yikes. The whistling part is easy, I guess. I can whistle too. She's gifted. I tell you, she's gifted. I'm glad there are only 6 of you left and half of you have disappeared. I'm not surprised. I would disappear listening to this. I'm not going to get demonetized because I'm not monetized, so I can play and sing and do whatever I like. We played it a few times in the school band. Yeah, it's a typical. So, okay, fair. It's a typical, you know. I'm trying my best, Jano. This is the best you're going to get for entertainment on my channel. Usually I am on camera, but I don't feel too into being on camera right now. I feel a bit, you know, bit of a recluse today, but a lot of people were concerned about my mental health and were reaching out, and I did feel bad that people were concerned for me. I do have a heart. I know. It's made of coal, I hate to tell you. And you'd have to, like, you know, dig through to get to it. Please get out of my house. But I just wanted to reassure people that I was okay. You can't get much from a video of me talking about my mental health, and I did appear in Tammy's earlier in the chat and was reassuring people that I am fine, but sometimes people just need to, like, hear you, like, live to know you're okay, rather than just like a pre-recorded video, which I did this morning, which people, you know, find fine. Can I ask a little about your mental health issues? I'm new here and you seem very at peace right now, so is it hard to tell how it affects you? My mental health it comes and goes in waves. Had to give a backstory. I've had a very rough upbringing. I've experienced things in my life that some people can only imagine. And that sounds a bit excessive, but if I was to know everything bad that's ever happened in my life, it would be a lot. And I try, and I wouldn't say mask it. I would say keep it to myself. Not necessarily mask it from other people, but it does take up time in my head, time in my life. Maybe one day I'll go through my entire backstory of how my life has deteriorated and improved over the years, and maybe how the terrible things in my life has got me to where I am today, and that I am still effectively working through things. Maybe the cat can handle them off. The cat isn't with me, Bodacious. The cat lives at my ex. I don't have the cat in my house, unfortunately. As much as I love Midi, I live in a flat with no garden. So I do put on a face, Jano. People that have known me on YouTube for like 6-7 years will know that I have bouts of where I'm fine and bouts where I'm not. You're like, Scaly, she lost it. I didn't lose my dog to my ex. I didn't lose my cat to my ex. I live in a flat, so I physically cannot have a cat. But I do go over to my ex once a week, twice a week, sometimes every other week. And I do take food. I take his flea and worm treatments, and I do get to see him. I got sent a picture, I think it was yesterday, of him. If you're in my, I don't think I've put it in my Discord yet, but I do have a picture of Midnight that I was sent, I think it was yesterday, of him. just so I knew he was doing okay. So I do keep an update on Mid, and he's doing fine. He's got a bit of hay fever at the minute, which is affecting his eyes, and he's weeping a bit. Cats apparently can also get hay fever. He's suffering with allergies. So hopefully that answers your question, Jeno. I don't want to go too deep at the minute because I do feel like I am okay. But I have been in right dark places. I've been incredibly low. I've had bad thoughts. I've thought of bad things. And I've hit what I want to call the proverbial rock bottom. But no matter how far I go, I do believe you can always fall further and that you don't necessarily hit the rock bottom. There's always more steps that you could go down. It's just that at some point you realize that how low you have got, there couldn't be anything lower. And you kind of trick yourself into saying, well, I'm as low as I'm going to go. The only way is up. It isn't. You could go lower, but you try and trick yourself into believing that you've hit rock bottom and that it only can get better. And that's the way of coping with how low your life has fallen, by saying, yeah, you know, things could be worse. And you try and trick yourself into effectively conning yourself into believing that you've hit rock bottom and that you can go up now. It's not a way to live, always believing that you are at rock bottom and things can improve, but that's kind of how my life has been. It's been a lot of lows, and there are tiny little blips of happiness, but the bad has, well, it's outweighed the good, should I say. And I still have demons that I deal with, not necessarily daily, but they do rear their head sometimes, and that's fine. No one's saying that you can't have emotions. No one's saying you can't feel. No one's saying you can't have a blip. No one's saying that you can't feel like the world is caving in. And I don't want to be this how do you want to put it, this Coach Eli person where, you know, we're all emotional beings and women let things get to themselves and men wouldn't have the same problems. And I guarantee you, if you lived through what I have, and I've had a lot, I defy a man to be that strong to not have cried or had a downward spiral, you know, at some point. Thank you for sharing that. Made a lot of sense. Well, you're perfectly welcome, Jeno. One of these days I might do a stream and go into a bit more detail. I do like to keep some of myself personal. There is a factor of YouTube where oversharing can be non-beneficial. Some people can judge you. Some people will feel, you know, no empathy for you because some of the situations I may have put myself into. And I don't really want to be judged. I've judged myself enough without needing others. Hugs for Raven. I know you'll get to the top of the mountain. We are all here for you. Well, thank you, Terry. That's amazing. I will definitely watch some of your train videos to brighten my day, Terry. But I have struggled. The last 18 months have been hard. Recently, it's been even worse. Probably the last 3 or 4 months, ever since about Christmas. February was a terrible month. This month hasn't been so good. Last month was quite horrendous. I've had certain things happen, certain things that have transpired. haven't been great. But I've live streamed, I've talked to people. I haven't like dwelled and wallowed in self-pity, if that's what you mean. Yeah, I think it's best to talk in general terms. As soon as you go into specific, people will use it against you, but you can still say what you need and you can still help others. Yeah. I'm not here to life coach you. If anybody's coming here and expecting like the Coach Eli treatment where I'm going to turn your world around and tell you where you're going wrong and fix you, this isn't the channel for you. I'm not going to fix your world or coach you. I'm just laying out my experiences on occasion where my mental health has dipped, and I do find that talking to you guys then helps. I usually tell myself it's not that bad because this time around you're an adult with freedom and less helpless compared to childhood. There is always that. You do find that when you were a child, when bad things happen, that you are trapped. You know, there's nowhere to go. You hide in your room, you hide under your bed, you spend hours at the park not wanting to go home. You distance yourself from your family, your friends, and maybe that's a bit too intense for people. I don't want to trigger people with my words, but you're still making good points and being very clear. Well, thank you, Jenna. Helplessness is truly scary. Yeah, the feeling of helplessness, the feeling of lost, the feeling of drowning in whatever is getting you down, the feeling of suffocation, suffocating from all the negativity, suffocating from all the bad stuff that has happened to you and you can't see a way out. A library was a safe harbor. I always find the park was great. Going for a walk, being down the park, being with your own thoughts, walking. Maybe I'd walk and have my headphones in. Or maybe I'd go for a walk and I'd phone my friend on my phone, and we'd have a little chat and I'd talk away from home, or I'd go for a bike ride. I used to find that therapeutic. I used to bike quite a lot back in the day before, everyone I know has a car. But when I was a child and I was like 13, 14, I'd bike everywhere. I'd bike to town. I'd bike from one place to another. All my friends would hang out and we'd bike and we'd have a little stop off and a picnic, and then we'd go exploring a little, and exploring the woods was great. Yeah. There used to be this wood yard near my home, and we used to go hide and play exploring in it. And we used to pretend we were pirates because some of how it was built with the wood was kind of like a fort. And we'd break into there in the middle of the night and sit up there and smoke and drink and naughty. What am I saying? Confessing your sins live on YouTube. But that was as a child. As an adult, my escape now, being an adult, would be music. Music is the food to my soul. I don't know where I'd be without music. I think some of my darkest days were lifted by music. Walking still helps with my headphones in. I still find if you're having a bad day or things are getting you down, even if it's just a walk to the supermarket or a walk to town, or I do find feeding the ducks therapeutic. I know it's a bit of a babyish trait to feed the ducks, but I don't know. There's something calming about animals, like ducks, walking around a zoo, just walking, watch the last song you found that became a favorite. The latest song that you found became a favorite. There's a band called Lord of the Lost. I don't know if you've ever heard it. They're a German band. They're called Lord of the Lost. and they have quite a few songs that I like. You've got Lorelei, you've got Morgana, and you've got their new one called Destruction Manual. And it's, I wouldn't exactly call it heavy rock. I would say it's more like soft rock. They also have a song that I like called Blood and Glitter. But it's called Lord of the Lost, the band. They're a German band. I found them about 2 months ago by accident. It's either one track called Blood and Glitter. Yeah, Blood and Glitter, Morgana, Lorelei, Destruction Manual, Forevermore was another one I like. They've got a song called Forevermore. Yeah, I find their music, although it's a bit bassy and it's a little heavy, I do find heavy or soft rock music soothing. I've even fallen asleep to stuff like that. But that's the band I would highly recommend. Lord of the Lost. Lorelei, one of their songs is called Lorelei, and it's got such a beefy bass. And it's very easy listening. I wouldn't say it's hard to listen to. I would say it's more like easy listening. But that is dependent on the person, obviously. Some people aren't going to listen to heavy rock music and find that that's a soothing thing to listen to. Me, on the other hand, I actually like listening to rock music and that kind of stuff. Probably sad, but when I was little, I used to love feeding the ducks. And when I visited the lake in Battersea Park, I looked at the ducks and geese, and it always brings back memories. I used to go to the ducks with my nan and granddad as a child, and then as I got older and I had my own kids, I took my kids to the duck pond. And now that I'm going to have a grandchild, I plan to take her when she's old enough to go to the duck pond as well, and keep it as a family tradition. It's been through the years and through the ages. We've always gone to duck ponds. And I collect ducks. I've got wooden ducks on my side. I've got ducks outside my house, like baby ducks and that. I had a quick listen. I call that pretty hard for metal, but it's melodic. And they always, and they are using music in a musical way. Not 100% my cup of tea, but I get it. Yeah, some of the songs are different. Don't necessarily take one song and make it like how they are. Their songs quite different. Blood and Glitter was more like a glam rock song, but then you get Lorelei, which is a really calm, soothing song. But then Destruction Manual is a really heavy bass, and it features the word motherfucker quite often. So I'd be warned with that one. And then Morgana has a real thumpy tune to it. So each of the songs really has their own like essence. And Forevermore, which is another one they did, is a more electronic one. I want to say a more mainstream song. So each of their songs are slightly different. They're not one of these bands where every song is exactly the same and they've just changed a couple of chords. They are quite alternative, but they're not that alternative that just a normal person couldn't listen to them. But they're not mainstream either. They are quite under the radar, although they've done quite a few albums. They also featured in Eurovision this year for Germany with the song Blood and Glitter. And they're a band I've spent quite a lot of time listening to and appreciating music from Europe. But yeah, give it a listen. It may not be your cup of tea, but not every song has to be your cup of tea. Some songs, you know, can touch your heart, and other songs you may just think, yeah, it's a cool tune, but you know, it's not for me. I'm not saying that everything has to be for you. It's the kind of music that I use to cope. There are other bands that I listen to as well that help me. Things like Marilyn Manson, CKY, the band Him, My Chemical Romance, Linkin Park. I do like the emo music, but I also then like what I call goth music too. Yeah, I love music in general, so I'll find at least a few tracks I will like. Yeah, yeah. I'm not assuming you're just gonna like everything that I do. Um, but music is, I wouldn't say it's specific to a person, but certain music and certain songs do touch you in a certain way. Certain lyrics, certain tunes, things like Mark Bolan, when he was in T-Rex or Tyrannosaurus Rex. Some of his songs make me want to cry. Um, I wish I'd have been born in the 70s. I think I'd have been a perfect little T-Rex, little fangirl. I think his music's, you know, lived the test of time. And his music is still used today in car adverts and is still well played and well received, even though he's been dead, you know, 30, 40 years, you know. You can't keep an old horse down. I'm about 10 years older than you, so I kind of miss most of the bands you mentioned. The older the bands you named, the more on my wavelength you were getting. So how old are you, Jano? I'm 39 this year. If you want to go for older bands that I like, things like, oh, Jesus Christ, where should we go? Ozzy Osbourne. I do like Black Sabbath. Aerosmith. Judas Priest. Prince. Metallica. Oof. I'm 43, so not that old. Okay, the same T-Rex that played 20th Century Boy. Yes, that T-Rex. Originally, they were called Tyrannosaurus Rex, but Tony Visconti thought that it would be too long on the poster. So to make the name of the band appear bigger on the poster, they shortened it to T-Rex. There's some background for you there. Bet you didn't know that. Yeah, they changed the name of the band from when they were a hippie love fest band of Tyrannosaurus Rex. They changed it to T-Rex so it would appear bigger on the poster. Because if not, it would have been too small on the poster and their name would have technically got lost in the poster. So there's some knowledge for you. I have watched quite a few documentaries on T-Rex over the years. I actually have a DVD of the T-Rex history as well. Metallica is good. I do like Nirvana as well. You know, nothing like a bit of teen spirit. I like Prince. I actually like Michael Jackson. I know he's controversial, but some of his music really gets to me emotionally. And you can think what you like about that. I actually like his music. I like David Bowie. I like quite a few artists. I've lived with music throughout the years, not just modern day. Good evening, Dragon. Hugs Raven. Hey, Dragon. You've missed a great chat this evening. We've been talking about TV shows that we like, the old style TV shows, and we've talked about music that helps you get through mental health problems. using comedy and music to get through mental health blips. So we've talked about old school TVs like Knight Rider, some others do have them, Faulty Towers, depending on if you know them. And then we've been talking about music, like, you know, things like Linkin Park, Prince, Michael Jackson. Personally, for me, Lord of the Lost, if you haven't heard that. I like Slipknot. Jim Root is actually an acquaintance of mine. Ooh, we'll get you, Mr. Carr. Good evening, Mr. Carr. How are we doing? We are talking about ways of coping with mental health using the music or using laughter. Laughter is the key to medicine in some people's respects. Listening to the unreleased version of Soft and Wet by Prince. There are 2 of them and they are great. Okay, Bodacious. The Midnight Raven, did you mention Are You Being Served? I'm free. Mr. Humphreys, I'm free. Yeah, we're talking about mental health. I put out a video. I don't know if you saw it, Mr. Carr, but I put out a video detailing my struggles with my mental health currently. And I did a very honest, it's about a 10-minute video. You can watch it or not watch it. It's entirely up to you. And I talk about going down a dark corridor, down a dark tunnel, not seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, feeling trapped, feeling isolated, feeling alone. And it's an interesting video. I'm sure a few people in the chat have watched my recent mental health video. And then I thought I would do a mental health live stream talking about ways to cope. And people have come with using laughter, so TV programs and stuff like that. And then another person suggested music could be the route to putting a smile on my face. Music alters my mood greatly. Yeah. I grew up in the Netherlands up until I was 13. Are You Being Served with a great BBC show? Yeah. I have severe PTSD from my career I retired from. Obviously, I'm just a normal person, but I've had a really rough upbringing and a really roller coaster of a life, a proper roller coaster. I've experienced some things that people may never. Obviously, you know, your own life is, I mean, some people do experience the same things I have, but I've experienced quite a lot of bad things, and the bad outweigh the good. And I'm always told to try and see a positive and a negative and manifest the good things, and I find that most of that is just mumbo jumbo. I will be honest, I think it's mostly mumbo jumbo. You can't manifest good things happening for you. You can try and would like good things to happen, but I don't think you can manifest it or put good vibes into the world and you get good vibes back. I'm not exactly sure that's a thing. When I am down, I listen to music, working out, and spend time in nature. Yeah, we were discussing earlier how I go feed the ducks. I go for a walk. I used to go biking as a child. I used to love being outside. Being in the house, I did kind of feel trapped. And that being outside was an escape. PTSD doesn't always come from battle. PTSD is a difficult issue. If you've had a rough time in life, it can haunt you if you don't treat it. Yeah. I can't compartmentalize things not always healthy. No. I am and a stickler for keeping things to myself until it's the last minute, and then I bottle over. If you like good music, there is a good comedy, and you like pop songs played in a bluegrass style, I highly recommend a band called The Cleavers. What about or The Clevers, is it? What about the Blues Brothers, Jeno? The Blues Brothers have some really good tunes as well. But I do bottle things up. I'm a bottler. I'm one of these people, and some people have known me for like quite a few years on here will tell you that I bottle things up until like the last minute, and that I keep things to myself. Me too. It's a terrible habit that can be painful to those who love you. I am guilty. Yeah, me too. I love the Blues Brothers. Everybody needs somebody. Everybody needs somebody to love. A sugar to kiss, someone to miss. There is a Blues Brothers album. There is 2 movies from the Blues Brothers. There is Blues Brothers 1 and Blues Brothers 2. If you haven't seen the movies, they're well worth a watch as well. There is a really angry penguin nun in there with a cane that likes to whip people. They have 2 films. If you haven't seen the Blues Brothers movies, I highly recommend them. It's 106 to Chicago. We've got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark. And we're wearing sunglasses. I love the Blues Brothers. Bottling it is mentally corrosive. I'm guilty. Don't tell me about number 2. It's sacrilegious. I know. I do prefer the first movie. Okay, everyone, I need to go hit the local stores before they close. But great meeting you. I will rejoin if you are still live when I get back. Well, thank you, Jeno. I'm so glad that you've come to my channel. You are welcome here anytime. I can assure you that my my live streams aren't always doom and gloom, but my podcast is, because I have a podcast called It's Not All Doom and Gloom, which I haven't loaded to for 2 weeks because of the issues with my grandchild trying to be born, but I will sort out a new podcast episode for this Sunday. My podcast is called It's Not All Doom and Gloom, and I will work something out for this weekend. Usually I load it at 6 p.m. on Sunday, so I will do my best. I love older musicals like Grease. Have you ever heard of a musical called Repo the Genetic Opera? We're testing you here. Anyone heard of a musical called Repo the Genetic Opera? It was brought out a few years ago as a musical film. Not a blues fan myself. I need to change my name. Special Agent Degenerate John Lee Car Cruiser. Part of the Degenerates. Call yourself musical lover. What? What? How can you not be a blues fan, Mr. Carr? Okay, peace out, going. Okay, Jeno, well, I guarantee you not all my streams are, sad and depressive. I haven't heard of it, haven't seen it in a while. I have heard of it, yeah. I love Repo the Genetic Opera. Things you see in the graveyard. Things you see in the graveyard. It starts off really spooky, and it's about, have not heard of that musical. It's called Repo the Genetic Opera. It's about a repo man where when your body parts start to deteriorate, you can buy new ones, but if you miss the repayments, he'll rip the cold, still beating heart from your chest. It's really good. You should really check it out. It's called Repo the Genetic Opera. You have to like this song. Yes, you have. Apparently, you have to like it. Did you hear that? Joe has a wrench in here. He obviously knows what he's talking about. Because all the people I wrench have like good common sense and good musical tastes. But yeah, it's a really good film. It's a bit bloody. There's quite a lot of blood in it, but there's some really cool tunes. And it features Paris Hilton. So if you're a Paris Hilton fan and you like watching her face get burned and melted, and you like to watch her crack a whip, I mean, it could be up your street. Sounds like Cyberpunk show on Netflix. No. It's more alternative, but it's got that more dark goth aesthetic rather than cyberpunk. It does have cyberpunk like bits in it. I would say there's also some like steampunk elements to it too. But it is a really good movie. It's about an hour and 15 minutes, hour 20 minutes. It's not awfully long. But it's about repossessing organs. It features Paris Hilton, and it's got a few other people in it. I'm not a blues fan. Pretentious assholes. Ooh. Well, I like the Blues Brothers. I'm not really a fan of blues like entirely, but I do like the Blues Brothers movies. And they bring like a comedy to music, which you don't get very much of nowadays. Music nowadays is all about bitches and hoes and double tapping people and stuff and getting laid. And music back then, like the blues, they were singing about heartfelt things and being down on your luck, and each to their own, really. That's why music is so triggering to people. I can see Eli at a blues festival. I can see him at a blues festival too. Unfortunately, yeah. I think he's even been to a blues festival. I know I think he went with one with Dana. I'm sure he went to some kind of festival with Dana back in the day. And it probably was a blues one, because it does sound like Eli would be like mopey, down on his luck. I love country from the 50s and 60s. Oh, hang on, let me find something. I think there's a song you might actually like. I can see Eli at a blues festival. Pink. Beyonce. Oh, yeah. If you like it, then you should have put a ring on it. Hang on. There's a song. Oh, what's it called? Bo Burnham. The country song. Hang on. There's a thing called Bo Burnham, and he has a country song. You might like this. Let me just play a quick clip from it. I'm not monetized, so.
I think, and then when someone sings about a horse, the problem is opposite of honest. Where instead of people actually telling their stories, you got a bunch of millionaire metrosexuals who've never done a hard day's work in their lives, but they figured out the words and the phrases they can use to pander to their audience, and they list the same words and phrases off sort of Mad Lib style in every song, raking in millions of dollars from actual working class people. You know the words, you know the phrases like a dirt road, a cold beer, a blue jeans, a red pickup, a rural noun, simple adjective. No shoes, no shirt, no shoes, you didn't hear that. Sort of a mental typo. I walk and talk like a field hand, but the boots I'm wearing cost $3,000. I write songs about riding tractors from the comfort of a private jet. I could sing in Mandarin, you still know I'm pandering, hunting deer, chasing trout, a Bud Light with the logo facing out. Hear that subtle mandolin? That's textbook pandering. I own a private ranch that I rarely use. I don't like dirt. One verse, one chorus in the bag. Now it's time to talk to the ladies. I'm hoping my southern charm offsets all these rapey vibes I'm putting out. Good girl in a straw hat with her arms out in a cornfield. That is a scarecrow. Thought it was a human woman. Sorry. A cold night, a cold beer, a cold jeans. Strike that last one. And when you hold your face with me. Subtextually, we go to bed, you doze off. So I take your country girl clothes off. I put my hands on your body. It feels like, hey, it's a fucking scarecrow again. Like my Mandarin. Fuck your ears, I'm pandering. I write songs for the people who do jobs in the towns that I've never moved to. Legalize gerrymandering. Tolerate my pandering. You got a beautiful mouth, I got a beautiful. Y'all dumb motherfuckers want a key change. Thematically meandering, emphatically pandering. I've got a tight grip on my demo's walls. Say the word truck, they jizz in their overalls. You don't know what land you're in. I'm in the land of pandering. And I'll be up front. I'll do what I do, cause I'm a total fucking country boy.
There you go. There's a country song for you, Mr. Carl. That is Bo Burnham's country song. Yeah, it's perfect dance music for Lady Baby. Fanatically pandering. Yeah. You gotta smooth talk for those ladies out there in America, you know. Gotta be a real country boy. I hope you enjoyed that. It's a good musical interlude for a sec while I had some more of my drink. I don't even think Lady Baby goes to darts anymore, because if she does, I mean, she's going to want to drink, right? And as she's got this DUI and this bracelet and she's on house arrest, I think darts are, well, I don't think she'll be playing darts anytime soon. Have you ever heard of David Allen Coe? Should I have? David Allen Coe. You'll have to refresh my memory, Eddie. Who is he? But there's your musical interlude for the evening. I'm not like Eli. I'm not going to put 3 blackened songs on. She's so screwed. You can imagine being on house arrest with Eli. Unfortunately, I think I'd have to drink just so that the bracelet would go off and I could spend the next 3 to 6 months in jail. I'd deliberately drink. I would find a way for that bracelet to go off to get sent to jail for 3 to 6 months. I would. Honestly, it cannot be 3. I know she's only is she on 3 weeks house arrest? I couldn't take 3 minutes. Judging by, and I didn't want to make this stream about Eli, but we're going to because I've been talking for an hour and a half and he's barely had a mention. Judging by the voice notes that I've heard, he would be an absolute nightmare to live with. The fact that you can say one tiny little thing to him and he's triggered beyond belief, and it's not just being triggered for 5 or 10 minutes. This guy can be triggered for days, weeks. Some things he's still triggered about now happened years ago. I mean, you know, the dildo in the face, that is a classic. Cuckold and stuff like that. He still gets triggered about it now. I guarantee you he still rants to Lady Baby about stuff. And from what I gather from clips I've heard, Eli's just constantly on about YouTube and was constant on about liking and constant. Even when they were going to dinner, you know, he'd go to the bathroom and she'd be texting people, you know, basically saying, oh God, he's talking about Jamie, he won't shut up, you know. You know, even when he came in the mod chat that Eli used to have, we used to try and have a laugh and try and have a joke in there. And all he'd go on about was fucking Lycan and what Lycan's doing and what Lycan's saying. And, it was like swinging a dick competition. And him not door dashing 8 hours a day. Oh, Jesus Christ. That means he's home all the time. Oh, my God. And she doesn't even get peace in therapy. If you haven't seen the latest clip that J-Rom loaded about the therapy that she'd been having, they've been having like couples therapy. Apparently coupled is the preferred dirty talk in bed. Oh, yeah. You're such a cuckold. If it's 3 weeks, maybe I'd lock myself in a room for that. I'd maybe lock myself in the kitchen so I could eat. I could sleep on the kitchen table, you know. To trigger Eli, donate to Raven's PayPal. Oh, thank you, Cuck Eli. Yeah, if you want to donate to my PayPal and trigger Eli, because I am still demonetized. I know, it's a sad affair. I'd really not like to be demonetized. But he's not taking the DMCA off my channel, so what am I meant to do? I'm going to wait till the 1st, which is a little over a week away, and I am going to get my fucking monetization back. And then it's game on, Eli. Just because I'm remonetized doesn't mean I'm getting off the Eli train. Oh, you don't even think about it, Eli. Me and J-Rom are having way too much fun. Why stop when there's so much fun to be had? If you haven't watched J-Rom's clips, and I can see everybody in here is an avid Eli fan, you can see all the clips on J-Rom's channel. He's released some truth bombs. Basically, you know, yes, he struck me. He flagged my channel about 2 weeks ago. He struck me while I was live. Good luck, Raven. Is karma what comes, goes around, goes around? Well, I'd love some karma. Yeah, he struck me while I was live. I was doing a live stream and we were getting donations for the baby that's due. And I got £100 donation off Dragon, and we were restreaming Eli at the time. And he flagged my channel, and he flagged it for not only restreaming him, but it was also struck for bullying and harassment. Because apparently a woman having an opinion on Eli is not allowed. But then within a week of me being struck and demonetized, because I basically got a warning, because it's not the first time it's happened. I've been demonetized twice by Eli now. He wouldn't take it off. I've asked him, I've pleaded. The money is stuck. There's about $300 currently YouTube are withholding until I am remonetized. So when I get remonetized on the 1st, I am not going to get that money until mid-July, maybe even August. So the baby will be here before I even get the money at this rate. Exactly, he hates women except Sarah. He would eat corn out of her butthole. It would seem so. But the thing is, just because he struck my channel, I've still been getting donations. We still made another £300 for the baby the other day, thanks to J-Rom and Bodacious and Tammy and Dragon and, oh God, who else did I miss? Holly and a bunch of other people have redonated money while I am awaiting the YouTube money. So we've already made another $300. So even being demonetized, I still made £300 the other day for that baby, whether I was monetized or not. So he's not really doing anything to hurt me at this point. Dawn should go upstairs and spend a ton of time with Eli's mum. Yeah, they should become best buddies, Red Bull. Well, she doesn't smell like a brewery. Sorry, I'm behind. Who's pregnant? My son is having a grandchild with his girlfriend. She is currently 34 weeks pregnant. And the baby is due on the 3rd of August. But she has tried to go into labor not once, but twice. And They have attempted to stop her labor twice now. She's now having a growth scan, a diabetes test, and we're hoping to induce her in the next 2 to 3 weeks. So the baby's going to be early. It's just how early, because she's been having some medical problems. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. Corn on the knob. Oh, Jack, behave yourself. Hi, Raven. No video. No. Congratulations. I hope they'll both be healthy. Me too. Yeah, we are waiting the arrival of my grandchild, which will be, well, hopefully in the next couple of weeks. Hopefully after Monday, because it is my birthday on Monday, I will be an amazing 39 years old, or 39 years young. Either way, we're going to live stream for my birthday. So hold off your donations. My birthday is on Monday if you'd like to donate. Swinging by to say hi. Gonna lay down for a bit. No worries, California. Thanks for popping by. No, I haven't got my video on zero. If you go check out my last video that I did a mental health video where I am struggling with my mental health. You've missed the entire stream where I'm talking about how I'm suffering on the inside and there's a dark tunnel taking me down. Not to that extent. Let's not go crazy. When I enter the ring and compete the WWE tryouts, I'm going to ask Eli to get in the ring with me. Then I will reveal to the WWE universe who Eli really is. Ooh, good for you, Terry. Yeah, he needs a good ass kicking. I will check your video out, Raven. Well, thank you, Mr. Carr. Yeah, that really does delve into my psyche at the minute and my whole thought process before doing a live stream. It's about 10 minutes. If you can spare 10 minutes out of your day just to go watch it, and then if you want to share your opinions in the comments or well wishes, or I'm not looking for like life coaching. I'm not looking for like manifestations or life quotes. It's going to change my life. I was more looking for an outlet for my emotions, and instead of bottling it up, I thought maybe letting my subscribers in on how I'm feeling can make us more of a community, because you can understand what I'm going through. I know that sounds a bit cliche, and that's kind of like an Eli thing of being, well, she's just an emotional being and she's just a woman. Of course she's going to be emotional and all this, but it's not exactly, you know. For a second, I was worried about smuggling all of those snow leopards and crack. What? Snow leopards and crack? Especially after they got into the last time I'm supposed to be meeting with Hunter Biden. That's probably going over my head because I'm not American. What's please tea? Please tea? What is please tea? An emotional being. Yes, I'm an emotional being. I'm stunted. What's please tea, Bodacious? I don't know what that means. Please yell Suplex City. Yeah. Suplex City. Can someone coach me to yell at my wife with love like Eli does to Dawn? Yes, you're a spoiled, entitled man, Joe, and your girlfriend doesn't love you long time, and you should be ashamed of who you are because you don't love yourself, and you need to take some time away from your girlfriend, and you need to have a word with yourself because you just don't love yourself, Joe. And then when you love yourself, you'll then be able to yell at your woman because you'll love yourself enough to show her you love her by yelling at her. You're just a little bit off at the minute, Joe, with the whole loving yourself thing, but it'll come to you. We can make you a misogynistic racist while we're at it. Yeah, sure, why not? You're going to get the full life coaching treatment here, buddy. Don't worry, Hunter assures me he isn't going to be something trafficking this batch of S-Bow. You do thrill me, Jack. Yes, Suplex City. My personal favorite wrestler was The Undertaker. That's probably no surprise. I accidentally hit send while typing. You do that quite a lot, Bodacious. A lot of people don't even speak English in my chat sometimes. I sometimes need a translator. Mrs. Carr has it right. Yes. Mrs. Carr does it have right. Mr. Carr has it right, sorry. Yes. Yes. You're going to be misogynistic. You're going to be a racist. We're going to turn you into an absolute asshole, buddy. You're going to have... The thing is, if you're an absolute asshole and a misogynist, you're going to have women throw themselves at you, Joe. And you're going to have to be prepared for this influx of desperate, alcoholic, druggy criminals that are going to throw themselves at you. It comes with the territory of being a misogynistic asshole. I got you, Joe. Before you know it, you'll have your wife drunk in a child's chair in a corner. Ooh. Promises there, Mr. Carr. Sweet. Yes, we're going to turn you into the world's biggest asshole, buddy. Incorrect. The best wrestler was Macho Man Randy Savage, the cream of the crop. I don't want to be no Macho Man. No, I don't like Macho Man. Macho Man Randy Savage. Woo! I've actually got tiny muscles. They're not very big. Now Eli will get the Stone Cold Stunner, the Tombstone, the Rock Bottom, followed by the Dominator. Ooh. And my move Black 5, maybe, if the Brock Lesnar lets me the F5. Ooh. Ooh, you're turning me on there, Terry. Nothing like a Black 5. Nobody else can use promos with his back to the camera. I know. But I love The Undertaker. Dun, 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 dun. Gotta love The Undertaker through. It's so right up my alley. And the Tombstone, oh, that gotta hurt. I miss Macho Man. Your Macho Man was a good one. I also like the British Bulldog, Cactus Jack. Who else? Even Ric Flair was good back in the day. Matt Hardy, Jeff Hardy, the Hardy Boys. I even liked Willow when Jeff did Willow, the character, or the whatever you call them now in wrestling. And you fuck like a rabbit 3 times per month. Yeah, don't forget Turbo Tongue. Joe, you're going to have to perfect Turbo Tongue if you're going to be a misogynistic a-hole as well. Don't forget Turbo Tongue. That way he can sneak bums of testosterone-infused cocaine during his promo. It does sound like, it sounds like Red Bull's having a fabulous time. I love how Red Bull goes off into like his own world and he creates like this entire scenario just all in his head. Yeah, 3 times a month, Joe. You are going to be so like fit from like sweating your bollocks off from doing it 3 times a month. Your woman's going to be walking sideways. Retarded. Yes, you practically are. Who's looking like a crazy frog? Bam 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 bam. The crazy frog, huh? As long as you to come first, I'm cool with 3 times a month. Aww. You're such a sweetie, Joe, and such a misogynistic asshole rolled into once. Yeah, we know you're retarded. Oh my God, how many times do you have to say it? We get what you are. You don't need to spell it out. It does seem like you have like some screw loose. We are talking about people care so much. I appreciate your concerns for my orgasms, Joe. You know, Joe isn't just a turbo tongue, he's also a caring man. I grew up in the same neighborhood as Brian Spanky Kendrick. Ooh. I've been powerbombed IRL'd by him. I foolishly said there was no way his little ass could lift me over his head. Ooh. Anyone know who the Crazy Frog is? If he's just here to be a douche, just free to ban him. 2 seconds later, I was on a broken table with tacks. Ooh, thumbtacks. Ugh. Do you know thumbtacks probably hurt? But lightning rods, if you smash them on your back, there was a crazy wrestler in the UK. I can't remember what his name was, but he'd smash lightning rods on his back, and oh, they would hurt. Thumbtacks, though, ooh, barbed wire, ooh, nothing like I love everybody. You do, Joe. That's your problem. You love everybody, but you don't love yourself first. You're always for everybody and none for Joe. Gay Joe, that's the word you were looking for. Oh, shocking. Yeah, if the Crazy Frog guy isn't here to be nice, just ban him. I don't have time this evening to have people in my chat who don't want to be here, you know. Yes, you don't love yourself, Joe. That's the problem. You love everybody else and you don't love yourself. You need to fix yourself before you can love other people. We're stealing RuPaul's phrase now, but that is practically what Eli lives by. If you don't love yourself, how is anybody else going to? Well, pretty easy, really. But you don't necessarily have to love yourself. This whole I love me, I love you, we love everyone. I mean, you can't possibly love everybody, and I don't like everybody I come in contact with. Eli loves himself in the tub. Nothing like an Epsom salt. I've actually bought some Epsom salts to try. I haven't got round to trying them yet, but I actually bought some lavender ones just to find out what the whole Epsom salt bath thing was, whether it really does work. But then apparently he has an Epsom salt bath and he watches his stream back. Now, you tell me, anybody in the chat, have you ever done a live stream, like an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, and then watched it back to critique your own self? I mean, who's got time to watch their own stream? 3 hours of watching your own stream just to look at yourself and go, yeah, I was a bit of a douche during that. A few months later, he was accepted into the Shawn Michaels wrestling school, and about a year later and a half, people knew him. They were watching his SmackDown debut. It was surreal that you were beaten up by a person who then appeared on telly. And you insulted him as well. I mean, that takes some doing. You just have to accept your, in my opinion. You just have to accept your, in my opinion. Okay? I'm sure Bodacious is going to rewrite that. You just have to accept your, in my opinion. Oh, so I have to accept your opinion is the only way forward. Is that it? There can only be one way. It's my way or the highway. There can only be. But yeah, I mean, I think it's a good stream that we've had, talking about mental health, coping mechanisms, how to use comedy to get through mental health, how to use music. And now we are giving Joe Buddy some excellent advice on how to become a misogynistic, turbo-tonguing asshole, which obviously he's going to practice 3 times a month. Good evening, Coach J-Ron. You've missed an amazing stream about mental health. We've been talking about mental health, how to cope, how to use comedy, how to use music. And now we are dissecting Eli and trying to teach Joe how to be a misogynistic, turbo-tongued asshole. Because he'd like to know. The crazy thing is, Finisher Sliced Bread 2 was really a thing he did as a joke before he went to the wrestling school. The move is the greatest thing since sliced bread. I'm sure it is. If you'd like to donate to my son's 25th birthday, there is a GoFundMe link in the chat. Katie is sharing it. My son turns 21 on Saturday. If you'd like to donate to that GoFundMe, please do so. Show your appreciation to my son. He's had it rough with the baby coming, and he's been there every step of the way with it. Yes, he's had these little breakdowns and these little cries over how stressful it is. But he is turning 21, and this monumental occasion is going to happen hopefully before a baby does. If we can get through the weekend, that would be great. But he's turning 21. So if you'd like to donate, the link is in the chat. Feel free to donate to him. Share some love. You only turn 21 once, and it is a big occasion before he has his first child. I'm quite proud. So I'm in the middle of nowhere. I've had bad service. Oh, no worries, J-Rom. I honestly wasn't sure whether I was going to go live at all. But I put out a video on my mental health, which is suffering. And people were concerned about me. I was getting messages behind the scenes. And I thought, you know what? I'm just going to do a live stream on mental health. We're going to talk about coping mechanisms and stuff like that. So we've talked about music. We've talked about using comedy. And now we're talking about how mental issues can be seen and not heard, I guess the word would be. You have to accept yourself, in my opinion, as in your current reality. From there, you can travel to a destination. Yeah, you have to come to terms with where I've come to then go to where I want. But I have to deal with some demons that I've always had and that keep wriggling their ugly head on occasion. And I'm a strong woman, don't get me wrong. I'm a strong woman, maybe too strong for my own good is the realization that I'm too strong. I constantly fight with myself, if you want to call it, emotionally, within my own head, which is probably not a good thing to do. I mean, it can't be a good thing, and I'm not pretending it is, but it's a way I cope sometimes. Whether that's good or bad, is up for debate. I find it's how I cope. The thing is, you can tell your story to somebody, and they can give you advice, and they can be helpful, and they can listen to you and everything else, but no one has lived your life, so they cannot possibly, in some ways, put themselves in your shoes. If you get my point. So although people can offer me advice, they haven't lived what I've lived through. So you can only empathize with me because you haven't lived it. Eli's got some truth bombs dropped on him on his community wall. Oh, has he now? What, new ones? Let me just have a sneaky peek. Which one is it? Is it on his Coach Eli too? Have a great day, everyone, and be happy. Being happy never goes out of style. Really? Oh, I like people that jumped in there. Good afternoon, Eli. Are you going for a walk today? I'm finally getting your notifications. And then someone else says, your girlfriend seems to have no respect for you based on audio that has been released recently. Check out his latest 2 memes. Oh, okay. So you got being happy never goes out of style. And I just wanted to send smiles and happiness I just want to send smiles and happiness everyone's way. Every single one of you is amazing and unique in your own special way. Please let love shine through and see how much more amazing it will make you feel. Makes me want to vomit. I mean, is that a good reaction? I'm not sure. Is vomiting a good reaction? It literally makes me want to vomit. His words do not fill me with joy. No, was it. Your girlfriend has no respect for you. She doesn't. She clearly has no respect for him. I mean, if I talked shit behind my boyfriend's back the way she has, I would expect to have got an earful. Or I'd be like, bitch, what do you think you're doing? The fact of the matter is, and here's the meat and potatoes of it. Had Eli have just answered J-Rom's question of why his lady baby is circumventing the AA court system by faking court documents, we wouldn't be having these voice clips and all this fun. I've asked Eli to take the strike off my channel that he gave me. J-Rom has kindly asked him to answer the question of why he is circumventing the court system and believes that they are above the law, basically. And he wouldn't answer J-Rom, so J-Rom started dropping voice clips. And then he started dropping more, and he's going to continue dropping them. They've got voice clips for days about Dana, about Dawn, and Eli, and just so much juicy gossip, so much juice. It's okay to not be okay. It is. That's one thing you can tell yourself, that if you're not okay, you are allowed not to be. Forcing happiness as a smile isn't good for you. I do get told a lot when I'm like working and doing stuff to smile more. And they're like, smile more. Life can't be that bad. And I kind of think, well, have you lived my life? I mean, have you lived my day-to-day life? Do you know what I've been through? To tell someone to put a smile on their face. I mean, I know you're trying to like encourage, happy thoughts and, positivity and stuff. But sometimes, resting bitch face. I've got resting asshole face. I've got resting bitch face. I have no time for people. I am moody, grumpy, but I'm me, which is what I love. I don't let anyone just say, oh, you should smile more. You got a pretty face, or you've got a great smile. I just want to bitch slap them. I just want to punch someone that says me an affirmation of, oh, life can't be so bad. There's light at the end of the tunnel. I just want to punch them. Just want to punch them. You can only go so far down before you can get up again. Well, that's somewhat true, but yeah, resting asshole face. Yeah. I've got resting, I take no shit face, basically. I have no time for people. No time for people, no time for their bullshit. Just no time for people in general. I'm just not a people person. let's put it this way. I'm not a people person. So Eli is still around. He's just not coming out and just answering questions. I mean, Eli hasn't even spoken about his woman having the 3 DUIs. He's not spoken about her being on house arrest. He's not spoken about her being on a tag. He's not spoken about why they're going to couples therapy together or why she's going to therapy sometimes without him. They haven't discussed why she lied about going to a hospital appointment when she was actually going to court. They haven't literally answered anything. There's no answer for why she's forging AA documents and forging people's names. Eli's just glanced over that entire situation from start to finish, with little to no answers being given, which is why J-Rom is dropping all these clips. He deserves what he's getting. If you want to lie and technically try and trick your subscribers, I mean, it's a very I would say it's a very poor move. Aloof, cold, and enthusiastic is more accurate, actually. What, me? Is that what I am? Aloof, cold, and unenthusiastic. Is that what you'd say I am? What was that for? Am I missing something, Bodacious? Would you describe me as that? I would describe myself as cold, unempathetic sometimes, a bit of a bitch. Yeah, I'd say that. I have no time for people's bullshit. Just no time whatsoever. Yeah, I would say I'm not a bad person, but I'm not a great person. By no stretch of the imagination am I a good person. We all have our demons, and we all have done bad things. It's just some of us actually actually hold our own when it comes to the bad things we done. Some people, though, like, striking my channel while it was live because I had £100 donation, kind of was a sore spot, and look where it got me, demonetized. But still talking about Eli on my channel, so what point is he actually proved by striking it that I can still make $200-300 for that baby without even needing to be monetized, which is what we did. We raised another £300 by using GoFundMe and PayPal. So although he may stunted my monetization, he didn't stunt me getting donations, and he hasn't stunted me shit talking him either. So his lot of flagging ain't really done anything. A description of my default face: aloof, cold, and enthusiastic. Basically, you're saying you're plain Jane, basically, yeah, or a John Doe, like a complete emotionless cyborg, yeah. But we can work through that, Bodacious. All you have to do is learn to love yourself. If you can learn to love yourself, then there is no limit to what you can achieve. A bit like Eli. If he perseveres being the most useless, uneducated life coach on YouTube, eventually he'll have to succeed. He doesn't understand that when he does this, it just gives him a bigger audience. Eli's never going to get the concept of YouTube. Eli does not have a chance in hell. Well, obviously not, but everybody has a chance of being successful. It's just if, when, and how. Sorry for the misunderstanding. No worries, Bodacious. Next time, just put your face instead of mine, okay? Put your default face in the same sentence. Because I thought you were talking about me, and I'm like, oh, shocked. You're going to have to pay me, like, emotional damage money. You know, I've got emotional damage, no Bodacious, from that. I can't believe there's still people here. I've been rambling on about mental health for like 2 hours. It's a good topic though, because mental health still does get a stigma. And unlike Eli, who just wants to tell people they're emotional and non-empathetic and you don't love yourself and it's basically all your fault and you could just snap out of it, you know, it's not as easy as that. People say I am hard to read, which means I'm easy. I do like to keep my feelings close to my chest, and I do like to hide things when it comes to emotional stuff or stuff that I'll be judged on when it comes to emotions and how I feel. I think we all do sometimes. I think sometimes we do hide like our trueness, and we wear a mask as sorts. Not everyone. Money coming in a few hours. Ooh, I was kind of joking, Bodacious, but okay. I just meant the emotional damage. You know, if I was Coach Eli, I'd have to charge you for emotional damage. You know, because you've hurt me emotionally. I'm gonna have like severe PTSD from you telling me I have a cold. What was it? A cold, unenthusiastic, aloof face. I'm hurt by that. The Black 5 name represents a steam locomotive that is a true British workhorse. Giving a wrestling move that name would be a true workhorse. Yeah, the Black 5. Or Black 5 for short, yeah. Struggling to write that. I can see. Bodacious, are we having a drinksy poos? Have we been having a tipple? Because most of your language today has been broken English. And as good as I am at reading people, and I am, it's hard to read people when you can't see their face. This is unfortunately just typing, so it's harder to understand. But I'm trying. I'm getting there. Me and you, Bodacious, you know, a few years under our belt, we're getting the lingo of you typing, misspelling, and it's perfectly fine. Don't worry about it. I can learn to work around it. It's perfectly fine. A lot of people in my chat don't speak English. Most of them are drunk. Good to hear you today, Raven. I have to run some errands. I look forward to listening in the future. Well, thank you, Mr. Carr. Give my love to Mrs. Carr as well. I know she likes coming over here too and hearing me talk about stuff like this, because obviously mental health is important, you know. Mrs. Carr, I believe, was a nurse, and things like this are important, and they're not talked about enough, or at least they're not talked about by actual, like, people that understand what people are going through. A life coach can't possibly understand what a real person is going through, because if you take Eli into consideration, he's had no kids, he's not been married, he's not been divorced, he's barely had a job, he's never had to struggle for money. He couldn't possibly sympathize with the common man. He just can't. I do not drink on weekdays, just exhausted. No worries, Bodacious. Much love as always, Bodacious. We've had this before where you've practically wrote non-English for the entire stream, and I've managed to work you out. Don't worry about it. We're all here to offer support. But I've been live for 2 hours and 15 minutes, and I think we have effectively done this topic justice, unless there is anything else that we'd like to talk about. I do have quite a lot of free time coming up. I actually have some time off work. I have tomorrow off, then I am working Saturday for a few hours, and then I have Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday off. So I have a good 7, 8, 9 days off coming up, which I need. And I have 1 day's work, which is a shorty. So hopefully we can do some more informative live streams, and then hopefully, fingers crossed, next weekend on the 1st, I will be able to reapply for monetization, and hopefully within 48 hours I would get it. But we're not going to jump too far ahead into the future. We're going to jump to right now, where I want to thank everybody for being here. Mr. Carr, Bodacious, Terry, Joe Buddy, Gemma, and everybody else that has popped in. I know this is a somewhat triggering topic. And if you haven't watched my previous video, which talks about my mental health, I would implore you to go watch it. It does give you a bit more insight into my mindset right now. If you're interested, you might not be. You might find this topic triggering, and that is perfectly fine. But I think this has been informative. I think it's helped. And I think it's been a good stream. So if you want to like and subscribe and you haven't already, remember, if you want to donate to my son's 21st birthday, the GoFundMe is in the chat, or you can donate to my PayPal, which Cuck Eli had been spamming in the chat. If you don't know what the PayPal link is, you can always ask under the comments on this video, and I will send it to you for the GoFundMe or the PayPal. I think we've had a good stream. I think we've learned a lot. I think we've learned ways of coping. You've learnt new films, new movies, new music to listen to. I discussed mental health before on the Generate Voices Forum. If you want to check that charity out, it generates opportunities. Okay, thank you, Terry. But if no one else has got anything else, I don't want to flog a dead horse, as they say, with the stream, because I think we've done the topic justice, and I think 2 hours is plenty to talk about mental health. I don't want to push myself too hard to live stream currently until I'm like ready. But thank you to everybody. Once again, I love you all. I will stream at some point during my time off. Obviously, Monday is my birthday stream. I want to see you all there, bushy-eyed and bright-tailed. And I love you all. And I hope you all have a wonderful evening and a wonderful weekend. And I will see you very soon. Have a wonderful evening and good night.